Hello learners, I hope you're well and you're keeping safe. Welcome to today's lesson in environmental, which is grade 3 lesson. Now, in our grade 3 lesson today, we're going to look at the strand, environment and its resources. And at the sub-strand, exploring unfavorable weather conditions. You remember in grade 1, in grade 2, you learned about weather where you had to draw. You look at the pictures where we had rain, the sun, the cloudy, and all that. Now in grade 3, you're going to explore those favorable and unfavorable weather conditions. Now, before we start, I want us to look at the word weather. If you can remember, what is weather? What is weather? Well, weather is a condition of the air. The conditions of the air over a short period of time. Conditions of the air over a short period of time. Weather is the condition or conditions of a place. If you can remember well, weather keeps on changing. Sometimes it could be sunny and all of a sudden it's rainy, or it could be hot and then all of a sudden it becomes very warm. Now, today we are going to look at unfavorable weather conditions. After learning or after reminding ourselves what is weather, I want us also to look at unfavorable, there's this word, unfavorable weather conditions. What do we mean by unfavorable? From the word unfavorable, what do you understand? So we're going to learn or understand unfavorable weather conditions. What do we mean when we talk or when we say unfavorable weather conditions? Now, when we say unfavorable weather conditions, we mean it is the weather that is not okay. The weather that could harm us. It could harm animals. It could harm plants. So when we talk about this, it means a bad weather. So we could say it's a bad weather that is harmful to people, to plants, and to animals. So unfavorable weather condition is the bad weather that can harm. This weather can harm people, At the same time, it can harm animals and also plants. So if the weather is not good, it's going to harm animals, it could harm people like us, like you, it could harm plants. So we call this weather unfavorable weather conditions. Now we're going to look at examples of unfavorable weather conditions. Which weather is this that we say it is bad to animals, to people, and to plants? So we're going to look at them. At the same time, we look at the pictures and understand very well what are these unfavorable weather conditions. So we're going to look at the examples of unfavorable weather conditions. And the first one that we're going to talk about are the floods. So do you know floods? Have you ever come across floods? So what are floods? Now, when there's too much rain for a very long period of time, that rainfall causes floods. So what we can say is floods are caused by too much rain for a long period of time. They are caused by too much rainfall for a very long period of time. Floods are caused by too much rainfall for a very long period of time. When it rains continuously, when it rains a lot of rain for a long period of time, today, tomorrow, and so on. So we are most likely to get the flood. So floods, we may say, it's brought by rainfall where there's too much water. There's too much water all over, and many things come to a standstill, and that's the time we say we have the flood. So we're also going to look at the second one. Before we look at the pictures, I want us to look at the second one, which is the drought. Drought is also unfavorable weather condition. So what are the droughts, or what is a drought? Have you ever seen a drought? Have you ever been a place where there's a drought? Or have you ever come across the pictures of the drought? So today you're going to understand very well the drought. We'll also look at the pictures of different places that have been affected by the drought. Now, where there's too much sunshine or a long period of sunshine and no rainfall may lead to drought. So we'll say a long period of sunshine. When there's too much sunshine and no rainfall. And no rainfall may lead or may cause the drought. Remember, there's some places where they don't experience the rain. So that place is very dry. There's no water, and that is what we call drought. When you look at the plants at that area, you see the plants are very dry. We are going to look at these pictures in our next step, where we have to look at the pictures of the floods and the drought so that you could understand very well what are floods and what are the droughts. So we are going to look at the pictures of floods. I want us to look at this picture showing the floods, and what can you see in the picture? Well, as you can see, there's too much water. There's too much water causing a lot of problems. You can see the vehicles cannot move. Some houses are deep inside the water. So why this water? This water has been brought up by the too much rainfall. So we said that when there's too much rain for a very long period of time, we are most likely to get the floods. So what you're seeing on the screen are the floods that have been affected by too much water or too much rainfall that brings too much water. And this too much water is the one that you're calling the floods. So the next one is the drought. And remember, we said drought comes because of too much sunshine without any rain. So when you look at the picture below on the screen, you'll see that the places is really, really dry. You can see the plants have dried. They are no longer green in color. And you can see totally the place is very dry. Even the animals are dying. Remember, animals depend on plants. If there are no plants, what will animals eat? They also depend on water. If there's no water, how will they survive? So the picture that you're seeing on the screen is showing us how a drought looks like, how a place that is affected by the drought looks like. So this is the drought, and when you talk about the drought, remember it's a place that has been affected by too much sunshine and there's no water or there's no rain that could bring water for the plants to do well or for the animals to survive. So this is the picture of a drought. So after understanding what is the meaning of unfavorable weather condition, and after understanding the meaning of floods, looking at their pictures of floods and drought, I would like us to do this activity where you're going to answer these 5 questions. The first question is weather is dash. So you're going to explain to us, or how do you understand what is weather? You're going to answer this question as you understand what is weather. The second one, what is unfavorable weather condition? When we say the weather is unfavorable, what do we mean by that? Then the third question is, what is floods? You looked at the pictures, so what are they? The fourth question is, what is drought? So after looking at the drought, after learning what is a drought and looking at their pictures, what do you understand by the word drought? The last question, name unfavorable weather conditions. Remember, there are 2 unfavorable weather conditions that we learned today. So which ones are they? So you're going to write the first one here and the second one right there. Then after that, we'll have to come to the end of our today's lesson where we learned about weather and the substrand unfavorable weather condition. I hope you understand this lesson, because our next lesson, we are going to look at the effects. What do they do? Remember, we said floods are bad, the weather is bad. So what does these floods do to people, to animals, to plants? Then how does the drought cause harm to people, to plants, and to animals? Thank you for listening, and see you in our next lesson.